He apparently killed these Asian women because he said they were tempting him. Right. Check this out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Back, I wanted to talk about incels for a moment. I think this is very troubling to me. This young man, a very young man, just a year or two out of high school, apparently the son of a pastor, who told the police that he killed these 8 women, and we know at least 6 of them are Asian women. These were Asian-themed massage parlors. He killed them because they represented temptation to him. Now, I get it. There's some strange stuff in the Bible. There's this one point where Jesus said, if your right eye offends thee, pluck it out. And there actually, throughout history, have been people who blinded themselves because they couldn't deal with lust or whatever, or they thought it would make them religious or bring them closer to Jesus. But these involuntary celibates, these incels, are, who are just all scrambled up about sex. This is something we've got to get a handle on. There has to be some way of addressing this, and I frankly confess I don't have an easy solution other than dialing back a little bit on the hysteria. I mean, these kids who go to religious schools and the only sex education they ever get is, sex is evil, resist the urge, don't masturbate, don't look at porn, don't think about it. And of course, the hormones are raging, and so they're setting up these insane internal psychological battles rather than simply acknowledging it. I mean, it's really interesting. Louise and I have been binge watching Cagney and Lacey, the old TV show from the 80s about these 2 women who are cops. I mentioned it yesterday. And in the episode that we watched last night, in fact, just by coincidence, mom, Lacey, Detective Lacey, finds in her 14 or 15-year-old son's under his bed, finds some dirty magazines, right? Some Playboys. And she gets all freaked out. And her husband is like, this is a normal developmental stage. Chill out. And they go through back and forth on this through half the show. And in the meantime, of course, she's solving some sort of horrible sex crime along with her partner, Cagney. And then at the end, she sits her son down. And, because they've now, in the middle of the show, they've discovered the 2 of them making out on the couch. And she's finally getting it, that, he's getting to first base. And so she sits him down at the couch and says, you have to be respectful of women. You have to listen carefully to what they have to say. And when the day comes, and I hope it's not soon, but when the day comes, you have to use birth control that will protect her from becoming pregnant and will protect you from getting a disease. And, after all the opposition that she had to her husband, Harvey, to his, it's, boys will be boys kind of stuff. And it was a brilliant show. And this was like in 1986. But there are still parents who are teaching their children, to hate and fear their own sexuality. And I'm not saying, every kid should be going out there hopping into bed and stuff like that, but there is something wrong, and I think that this is a symptom of a deep problem within our culture, not just this one kid. I mean, there have been 44 deaths in the last 6 years. This is from the Wikipedia page on incels. 44 deaths have been committed since 2014 by men who have self-identified as incels or mentioned incel-related names and writings in their private writings or internet postings. Now, we don't know yet if he went after these particular women because they were Asian. It looks like it's not probably a hate crime. It's just at least a racial hate crime. It is a gender hate crime, which raises the question that a caller in the last hour asked Congressman Pocan, which is, why is it that attacks on women are not classified as hate crimes? Now, I get it, women are a little more than 50% of our population, so technically they're not a minority, but given the power and wealth that women have been deprived of all these centuries, millennia. Generally, we consider women a minority category. We can't even get the damn Equal Rights Amendment passed. You've got a judge blocking it right now. It finally passed the last state. They're going to try again in Congress. We can't, you know, the Violence Against Women Act needs to be reauthorized, and the Republicans are fighting that. But this strikes me as a societal crisis. And frankly, I think that Trump has been driving this. Trump bragging about grabbing women by the crotch. Remember that? I mean, oh yeah, when you're famous, they let you do it. And it's like, you know, teenage boys across America going, oh, really? And then all these women coming forward and saying, you know, yeah, he tried to rape me, or he did rape me, is what E. Jean Carroll is saying. She's got the dress with the stain on it. And all the Trump apologists are like, oh, no. And Trump is like, no, she was too ugly. Right? Not my type. As if she was his type, he would rape her? I mean, these are our role models now?